He's got it! What a catch by Mookie Betts.
A lot of names that if you're not a Pirates fan, you...
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Rich, back to bring your MLB props for Wednesday, August 24th. Yesterday, I'm very frustrated with Paul Goldschmidt. He was in a great spot. He's been on fire and just couldn't get it done. The team put up a ton of runs in Game 2. Game 1, they did virtually nothing against the Cubs. I don't know what is going on with Goldschmidt. He's looking like he had a great potential, lots of upside built into his value, and just didn't get it done. So I guess I'm fading Paul Goldschmidt now. You know, a guy that I just love overall. I can't take him. Alex Bregman hit a home run late in the game yesterday. And if you took Aaron Savale, he did push his Ks. If you got it at 3.5, he went over. But if you got it at 4, then he did push. So not the best day for us. But we are back today with more picks and more bets. So let's dive into it right now. Now we're starting with Wilson Contreras, Brian Reynolds, Alex Bregman for overs, Adley Rutschman for an over, George Springer, Ryan Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins, and Adolis Garcia. Right off the bat, I'll tell you, I am not taking Contreras. I've told you this again. I just can't do it. As good as he is, he just isn't quite consistent enough for me to take him. Now, he does bat .368 against Miles Michaelis. He has to have a home run against him. I can't do it. You do have Brian Reynolds, who I do like. I think he's in a pretty good spot up against Kyle Wright, but he plays in the early game. So if you're seeing this a little bit later, can't take him. He's playing really early. It's like 12:30 Eastern time start. So not going to worry with him. The three guys I'm targeting right now, and the guys I'm looking at, I really love Alex Bregman again against Dylan Bundy. Great spot. You see the P-Val number there. I think it's just a massive opportunity for him to smash. I really like George Springer if he plays. That is a little caveat because we don't know if he's going to play. Brian Bello is just, he's so bad. Like, he's just so bad. He lost a ton of runs. We saw what happened yesterday. Josh Winkowski got shredded by the Blue Jays. I think the same thing's going to happen today. They taxed the bullpen. The bullpen's going to continue to be taxed for Boston, and I think that the Toronto Blue Jays are going to really take advantage of it, and I think that Springer has the best opportunity to do that. We'll see, again, if he plays. Yes, in 3 of his last 4 games. I don't know 100% if he's playing. He has been dealing with a bit of an injury, so there are some concerns there, but outside of that, then we're looking at the Baltimore stack. You see Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, and Cedric Mullins all made this list up against Lucas Giolito today because they have surprisingly low totals. You know, Rutschman is a 5.5, Mountcastle's a 5, and Mullins is a 6. I don't really get it. You know, you look at their averages against him. Springer, again, 2 for 3, against Brian Bello. So he's already got 2 hits off him against the rookie. So we'll see what happens. But Cedric Mullins is literally batting .600 against Lucas Giolito. He's probably my favorite target. He's going to bat first in the order. Lots of run potential. Not a ton of RBIs, but he's getting over a hit per game, 2 total bases per game. And then on top of that, I think that Rutschman is another guy who's another good target because, again, he's getting a hit per game. He's getting on base, 2 total bases, 0.82 runs per game, half an RBI per game, lots of extra base hits. So the way that Giolito's been pitching lately, you just have to target him. You see the 1.14 pitch factor. Again, it's not that I'm all in on these guys, but I think that, in my opinion, Mullins is the best matchup. I do like Adolis Garcia as well. He struggled a little bit yesterday, but today he should be in really good shape. Texas is probably going to put up a ton of runs in Colorado. So overall, I mean, this is just what I'm looking at. I see Bregman and I love him. I see Springer and I love him. I'd be willing to take a shot on Mullins. And then for pitchers, I really like Zach Gallen's over strikeouts at 5.5. So I'll go over to my strikeout model here so you can take a look at it. And you see that Zach Gallen's right at the top of the list. Up with Martin Perez. Perez, I'm a little bit more concerned about. He's probably going to push at 4. He could definitely get to 5. There's a favorable ump who will be calling the game today. But Colorado hasn't been striking out a ton, so I'm not all in on that. But you look at the metrics for Zach Gallen, who's got a 30% K rate over his last 5 starts. He's got a massive swinging strike rate. You have KC, who's been striking out a ton lately, a favorable umpire. Lots of things to like here. PrizePicks has this line at 5.5. I really like that number. And on top of that, it's -130 on the book. So it may move to 6. 6 is a little more dicey, right? Because you're looking at a push and maybe looking at an over. But at 5.5, I definitely think it's really good value. Probably my favorite play on the slate. You know, Blake Snell is up here on this list as well, but I don't love his number as much. At 6, it's acceptable, but Cleveland doesn't strike out a ton, so I'm not all in on that one. I think Valdez is another one who could be in a good spot depending how he pitches. Minnesota doesn't strike out a lot, and Valdez's K rate isn't very high, but they did strike out a ton against JV yesterday, which was interesting because JV's line was only 5.5 because they haven't been striking out a ton, and I believe it was 6 on PrizePicks, and he went way over, striking out 10 guys. I believe he struck out 5 or 6 in a row, so JV was just on fire. Maybe it was Minnesota had a bad game. Either way, I think that Gallen's probably my favorite play. And then of the other guys, I definitely think that Bregman is up there. Springer, check to see if he plays. And my alternate to Springer would be Mullins if I'm doing a 3-pick power play. But a lot of these guys do look in good shape. Like Adolis Garcia looks to be really good. He's up against Jose Urena, who's terrible. And I think that Texas could put up a ton of runs. But these are kind of the guys I'm looking at. So overall, if it was my bets and my picks, I think it would be Alex Bregman, George Springer, with an alternate being Cedric Mullins, and then Zach Gallen for an over 5.5 strikeouts. Those are 3 plays I like for today. Mix and match them in case, one of them fails. You don't want to be all in on just the 3. Make sure you mix and match with the 2-pick power plays and then do the flex for the 3-pick play. If you want to add some more of these guys into plays, be my guest. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of guys I do like. I'm not playing Contreras, even though he's got one of the highest edges on the slate. I'm just staying away from him overall, but all the rest of the guys I do like. You saw a bit of the strikeout model, so you can look at that too. And so make sure you drop me a like and subscribe for future content. And as always, if you tail, give them hell, and if we fail, do not bail. I'll be back on Friday. I'll be away tomorrow, so I'll see you guys on Friday, and I'm out. Peace.
He's got it. What a catch by Mookie Betts.
A lot of names that if you're not a Pirates fan, you probably don't
He's
know.
the closest thing we've seen to Mike Trout.
Yeah, the best team in the American League.
The Yankees have the most intimidating lineup in baseball.